long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew's Charles? What do you think? Should the MPs be allowed to debate the royals in the House of Commons?
Breaking news. Rotten monarch heckled. King Charles, confronted in Lichfield over Prince Andrew cover-up as calls for a full royal Epstein inquiry erupt across Britain. It was supposed to be another calm royal outing, a routine engagement in the tranquil cathedral city of Lichfield. Instead, it turned into a public reckoning. King Charles III, once again attempting to parade the illusion of royal normalcy, found himself heckled and humiliated by angry Britons who are no longer willing to stay silent about what they see as his complicity in covering up Prince Andrew's sordid past. As the monarch greeted crowds and smiled for cameras, a voice from the crowd cut through the royal script like thunder. For a brief, electrifying moment, the carefully choreographed royal facade cracked wide open. Witnesses reported the king's face tightening instantly, his hand freezing mid-wave. The crowd fell silent. A few gasped, others began recording. The protesters' demand, "Investigate Andrew," echoed against the historic stone walls of Lichfield Cathedral, reverberating through the heart of a monarchy under siege. The moment the mask slipped. According to multiple onlookers, the king appeared visibly shaken by the confrontation. His security detail immediately closed in, but the heckler, described as an older man wearing a long coat and carrying a small Union Jack, stood firm. Within seconds, murmurs spread through the gathered crowd. What had begun as polite applause transformed into whispers of unease, with several others voicing support for the protesters' message. "People are tired," said one local witness. "Everyone knows about Andrew's connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone knows the palace swept it under the rug. But seeing someone actually call Charles out to his face, that was powerful. It felt like something broke open. And indeed, something did. The rot inside the crown. The monarchy's moral authority, already weakened by years of scandal, hypocrisy, and public distrust, took another blow today. For years, critics have accused Charles of shielding his disgraced brother, Prince Andrew, from true accountability for his association with convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and alleged abuser Ghislaine Maxwell. When the public demanded transparency, the palace offered silence. When victims asked for justice, the palace offered excuses. And when the media tried to investigate, royal handlers allegedly blocked, censored, or diverted attention to other royal feel-good stories. But the strategy isn't working anymore. Today's heckling wasn't just a one-off. It was a symptom of growing national disgust. More and more Britons see the monarchy not as a symbol of tradition, but as a decaying institution rotting from within, shielding privilege at the expense of truth. Epstein inquiry now. The cry that echoed nationwide. Within minutes, clips of the heckling in Lichfield began circulating online, spreading across social media platforms with hashtags like Epstein inquiry now, abolish the monarchy, and Andrew cover-up. Charles being heckled live was like watching the empire's mask fall off, wrote one ex, formerly Twitter user. Another added, "The king can't even walk down a street without the ghost of Epstein walking beside him. The monarchy is done." Public anger is no longer confined to whispers in pubs or online forums. It is boiling over into the streets, and every royal appearance is becoming a stage for protest. The question the palace can't escape. The British public has one simple question. Despite being stripped of royal duties and settling out of court with Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most prominent accusers, Andrew has never been subjected to an official royal or governmental investigation. Instead, the palace has shielded him in the background of Windsor's sprawling estates, where he continues to live lavishly on taxpayer-funded protection. Meanwhile, those who dare to question the silence, journalists, activists, even members of the public, are dismissed or vilified. It's a pattern as old as the monarchy itself. protect the royal name at any cost, even when justice and morality hang in the balance. The hypocrisy of modern monarchy. King Charles, who has often preached about transparency, sustainability, and ethical leadership, now finds himself caught in the same web of double standards that has plagued the monarchy for generations. How can he talk about accountability when his own family remains immune to scrutiny? How can he lead a modern monarchy when its members are embroiled in ancient secrecy? How can he expect the public's respect when he turns his back on the truth? One protester outside Lichfield put it bluntly: from Windsor to Westminster, the political storm. Brewing today's public heckling could have political consequences. Pressure is mounting on Prime Minister Keir Starmer's government to open a parliamentary inquiry into Prince Andrew's past and the monarchy's handling of the situation. Several MPs have already voiced support for transparency. Labour backbencher Clive Lewis told reporters, "If this were any ordinary citizen, the investigation would have happened years ago. The British public deserves to know whether royal privilege obstructed justice." The call for a royal Epstein inquiry is gaining traction across party lines, with both reformists and traditionalists agreeing that the monarchy cannot be above the law. A nation losing its patience. Britain has endured scandal after scandal from this royal family, from financial hypocrisy to leaked palace briefings, from tabloid manipulation to Andrew's appalling associations. But this moment feels different. This heckle wasn't just about Andrew. It was about everything the monarchy represents in 2025. Elitism, secrecy, and self-preservation. Even royalists are starting to question their loyalty. The unravelling of royal immunity. The heckling in Lichfield could very well mark a turning point, a symbolic rupture between Britain's people and its palace. Every monarchy throughout history eventually reaches a point where the public begins to ask, why are we still paying for this? Who do they really serve? And what are they hiding? The Epstein connection is that breaking point. It's not just a scandal, it's a moral collapse. And with each public appearance, Charles faces a growing wave of resentment, one that no PR team, no palace spin, no royal wave can stop. Rotten to the core, public trust hits historic low. Polling data already shows public trust in the monarchy is at its lowest since records began. Now, after Lichfield, it's likely to plummet even further. What the people saw today wasn't just a heckler. It was the truth spoken aloud, in daylight, before the cameras. The British establishment can censor the headlines, but they can't unhear those words. They were shouts of anger, but also of justice. The future of the crown, accountability or collapse. Unless the palace allows a transparent, independent investigation into Prince Andrew's dealings and the royal cover-up, it will face a crisis of legitimacy unlike anything in modern history. The monarchy's survival depends not on pomp or ceremony, but on public trust, and that trust has been shattered. In Lichfield today, a man shouted the truth to a king's face. In that moment, the balance of power shifted, if only slightly, from the crown to the crowd. History may remember this as the day the royal rot was called out publicly, and the myth of the untouchable monarchy began to crumble. Final words. As Charles retreated to his waiting car, the echo of the protesters' words lingered in the air, not just as a personal embarrassment, but as a national indictment. He can try to outpace the shouts, but the truth is chasing him faster than ever. Britain has spoken. The king may wear the crown, but it is the people, no longer afraid to shout, who hold the truth.
The submission itself sounds nice. And to my amazing and peculiar Sussex family, thank you all for watching our videos and tuning in to Daily Diaries Friday's update. Keep it light, keep it there, and see you next time in our next episode. Bye bye. May you have a good day and a good time. Keep shining. Bye bye.